Am I making a mistake?
Oh wait, yeah.
It's still right. And okay, let's just stop here. I think the shape is starting to emerge already, with that last row that we have. Okay, so with this row here, I want to plot a histogram of this entire row. What do you think it looks like?
Bell.
It's a bell curve, exactly. Okay, the further we go, down the line, the more, the closer it looks like a real bell curve. Okay, in other words, this is related to the distribution. Okay, statistical distribution, and we are approximating a bell curve in this case. But why is it doing that? Why is it approximating the shape of a bell curve? And what does it have to do with factorial, as you said? Let's think about it. Okay,
Chances of something happening.
Something related to that.
Maybe they use this in signal.
Well, this has to do with this. This number here is saying that I have one thing. Okay, how many ways can I take one thing out of one thing? There's only one way, right? This one here is saying that I have, let's see, is that right? No, this one is 0. This one is one thing, and then it's asking how many ways can I get 0 out of one thing? And then this one is asking how many ways do I have to, if I get one thing out of one thing, how many different combinations can I get? Well, one combination, right? Now this one starts to get a little bit more interesting. I have two things. How many ways or how many combinations do I have if I want to get nothing out of two things? Well, there's only one combination, empty, right? But how many ways can I get one of two things? Two things, two ways, right? Because I have A, I have B, I can only pick one item, so sometimes I pick A, sometimes I pick B. And then this one is asking, how many ways do I have when I want to pick up two things from two things? Well, there's only one way, because eventually I will pick up both items. And the order is not important. So if I have A and B in a bag, picking it up in the order of A and B versus if B and A are considered the same. So there's only one way to pick up two items from a bag that has two items. It gets even more interesting here. I have three things. How many ways do I have to pick up 0 things from the bag? Well, there's only one thing. Empty set is one combination. Picking 1 out of 3, picking 2 out of 3, picking 3 out of 3. Picking 0 out of 4, picking 1 out of 4, 2 out of 4, 3 out of 4, and 4 out of 4. Okay? Are you guys starting to see a pattern here? It does relate to something that we have talked about already when we talked about factorial. The lotto, exactly. When we talked about lotto, it has to do with this. Okay? Because, how many balls with numbers do we have? That's the number of items in the bag. But how many are you picking, each time? That's the, like 6 or 7, whatever the rules are. So these are the numbers related to that. So by the time you guys take a statistics, statistics class, you will see, this triangle again, but may not be in the context of a Pascal's triangle. But nonetheless, it has to do with how many. This has to do with permutations. Okay, this is what they call permutations, not combinations. Permutation, is it permutation or combination? I always get those two confused. I think this is combination. Permutation is when the order is important, right? Okay, so this has to do with combination. All right. So I just want to basically, explain what that particular subroutine is doing. But other than that, it's something that is semi-useful. But the way I calculate the value is actually very redundant and time-consuming. Are we okay so far about all the topics? Think so? You guys feeling confident about the final exam? Sure. We'll see. Now, the only thing that I want to kind of alert everyone is, or remind everybody about. Okay, should I save this one?
Yes.
Yeah, why not? Go into today's folder. Let me call that combination. Get rid of this. Get rid of that. And I want to reopen that text file that explains the back trace or tracing a program backwards. Okay, because that's the one that I want to just talk about again. Nope. I closed the editor altogether. It's a txt file. Okay, I think it is. It's this one. Yep, Spring 10. Yep. Okay, so this is the one that we have talked about. What if I stack another conditional statement before this one? In other words, I have one conditional statement and then another conditional statement. If I want to backtrack all the way to the top, potentially now you have 4 possible paths. Okay, so that makes it kind of, so you just have to kind of make sure that you can go back like that, and basically branch out, and look at all the possibilities. Is that making any sense?
Yes.
Okay. What about loops? What if I put a loop and then say, after the loop, I know the value of this is blah. Can you go back and track down the value of a variable before the loop starts? Let's try something like that. Okay, since we have the time, might as well. But you guys paid what, $26 per unit, and this is a 3-unit class, so you better get the money's worth out of it. Right? Okay, loop.txt. So let's say we have a loop here while x is less than, say, 200. Do x gets x plus 50. Let's pick some odd number here. Odd and prime number in this case. And while, okay, we'll give these guys your line numbers, line 21, 22, 23. Okay, so if I know post 23 is, okay, let's say x equals to, I don't know. Let's try, x equals to 201, okay? What is 321? Give the post general solution. Okay, here we go. What do you think? Can we do something like this? Well, there's a way to do it. Okay, there's a specific way to do it. Yep, go ahead.
Just do the freeze on post, like the general.
Well, this one is a little bit more difficult than the one that we have dealt with before, because one possible, okay, what do we know? X equals to 201 has to be a component of pre-21, right? In other words, if x equals to 201 already before line 21, it would just